Welcome to Making Herstory. This isn't polished success stories. This is the fire, the chaos, the gut punch truth of women who refuse to play small. The real, feral stories. The messy, bold, audacious stories that flip the table and set shit on fire. This is where we roar. It's Ashley Crabb. Buckle up, babe. We're making herstory. Women are so often taught that gratitude and desire do not go hand in hand. But the truth is, gratitude is not the opposite of wanting more. It is what prepares you to receive more. In case we haven't met yet, I'm your host, Ashley Crabb, and I'm the only story-driven experience curator who helps women turn their raw, unpolished truths into brands, communities, events, movements that other women can feel. My work lives at this intersection of story, belonging, visibility, and identity, helping women build spaces and experiences rooted in who they are, not who they are told to be. Today, we're stepping into a conversation that women have been conditioned to avoid. The conversation around gratitude, desire, and abundance. And we've been taught that these things were meant to compete against each other. And in reality, they were never meant to compete against each other. I think it's really important to think about gratitude in like these two different categories, right? Survival gratitude and embodied gratitude. There is this version of gratitude women inherit long before like we even really learn what the word means, right? Like we are taught at a young age to be grateful for what we have and not to ask for more. We are taught that we should be grateful because other people have it worse. We are taught to be grateful in the sense of like, who the hell do you think you are to want something bigger than what you have right now? Like, I do not think that form of gratitude is gratitude at all, really. It is a form of survival. It is a form of conditioning and comparing. It is silencing dressed up as like having humility, right? Survival gratitude keeps you small. It keeps women small. It keeps the child within you small. But the idea of embodied gratitude is so much bigger, is actually so much bigger. It expands us. Where survival gratitude says, be thankful and behave. Embodied gratitude says, you know what, I honor what I have, and I am open to what's next. One keeps your world, our world, very, very tight. And the other one opens your palms wide open, right? And I really think that this hit me when I became a mom, because I don't think there's anywhere else in society where gratitude is weaponized more than in motherhood. And I experienced this full force of these totally like off the wall comments, like about being a mother, about my kids, like, you should just be grateful to stay home. You should be grateful you're a stay-at-home mom. You should be grateful you have healthy kids. You should be grateful you even get to do this, right? And all of those things are true. Like, am I grateful that I was a straight stay-at-home mom for the first year of my kids' lives? Abso-fucking-lutely. Am I also now grateful that I'm a work-from-home mom? Absolutely. I am
beyond grateful that my kids are healthy, and I'm beyond grateful that I even get to experience motherhood. But those comments, those negative, backhanded comments, they're detrimental, because the quiet part that nobody recognizes is how deep that hits, and how heartbreaking that can be, to have to think about this joyous moment in life as a comparison to other situations, as a comparison to other mothers, right? Because women can be so profoundly grateful for their journey in motherhood, for their children, and still ache for identity, creativity, ambition, purpose. Like, I think we look at gratitude and motherhood as gratitude shrinking the mother, like, into this smaller box, right? Where in reality, gratitude and motherhood should expand us, right? Having desire in motherhood should expand us. It doesn't make us these selfish human beings. It makes us freaking human. Some of the most abundant women I know, some of the women I know who have the biggest desires, right, are also mothers, and they stopped apologizing for wanting more. I stopped apologizing for wanting more. And I know that this is going to be an episode that I dive into later, but like, I was seriously in this sacrificial gratitude mindset where I had to sacrifice more and more and more of myself and of my identity and of my desires in order to be more grateful. Like, does that even make sense? Because saying it out loud doesn't make sense to me, honestly. But it's that notion that wanting more makes you ungrateful. And scarcity is like not the voice of gratitude, right? Scarcity is the voice of fear. It really is the voice of fear. Scarcity says, if I want more, something bad will happen. Where gratitude can say, I want more, and something beautiful is waiting for me, for us. Scarcity, like, is hoarding. Scarcity hoards. Gratitude is receiving. Scarcity shrinks and gratitude grows. Like, you can see this difference in all of these negative thoughts and feelings and emotions and vibrations that a scarcity type of gratitude brings to the table, whereas just embodied gratitude and, gratitude where you desire more is just so much more expansive. And I think so much of this comes back to spirituality and belief in God and a higher power, which is also another topic for another day. But like, let's talk about God for a second. However you define your God. Like I said, deep conversation for another day. But I think that is so much of where this butting of heads against desire, receiving, gratitude comes from, is that somewhere along the way in our belief of a higher power, like, we were taught right out of the gate that desiring more was wrong, it was selfish, and it was unholy, like unholier than thou, because, God has given you everything you need, right? But if we really look into that, God is a source of abundance. He is not a restrictor of abundance. He is not sitting there saying your desires are wrong. Like, he gave you those desires. He made you the person you are with the desires that you have. It's not the opposite of gratitude. It is the proof of alignment. Like when you are grateful for what you have and you desire more, it is a sign from the universe, from God, from the stars, from your angels, that you're being pulled in the right direction, right? When you listen to that whisper of what God is preparing you for, what your intuition is preparing you for, what your instincts are preparing you for, gratitude grounds you in that. Gratitude grounds you in that desire to grow. And both are holy. Both are holy, right? Because when you desire more, you're doing more. You're giving more to the world. You are sharing more of your gift of what you were meant to do and be, right? But I think when we start thinking about it in that level, like when we start thinking about our desires being connected to a greater power, to, you know, this worldly collective, that's where we have to really start thinking about gratitude as a ritual. Like not just gratitude being something we practice like every now and then. Like it's something we practice all the time. A gratitude list is like not just something you write down when you're feeling guilty, right? Like it's something you write down daily. And like I think that is such a hard concept for so many people to grasp, is like writing down gratitude every single day, because we think that gratitude has to be on such a grand scale, that like so many things have to happen in a day, or like they have to be this level of importance, for lack of a better word. And like that's the comparison game again, right? Like, or you think you have to be grateful for something different every single day. Yes, that's true. Like things happen every single day that are different and that we can be grateful for. But like, what is wrong with being grateful for some of the same things every single day? Like it doesn't have to be big and massive and monumental for you to be grateful for it. Like your gratefulness needs to be grounding. It needs to be a recalibration, right? And so, yeah, for me, sometimes, you know, recognizing gratitude is journaling in the morning. I journal every morning, my gratitude for the day. I end every night with gratitude. And that's something I implemented recently. It wasn't something that I did all the time. It wasn't a ritual that I practiced every single day. It was something I did when like I felt like it, right? And that also blocks your abundance mindset when you do that, when you only do it when you feel like it or feel called to do it. Like, anyways, I'm kind of getting off on a tangent, but like I think we can practice moments of gratitude in different ways, like pausing and taking a deep breath. Like lengthen the moment that you are experiencing. Acknowledge that moment in the moment. Like don't wait for it, you know? It's all of the little things in the day, like, you know, seeing your story transforming in front of you, like honoring the people around you, you know? It's letting yourself feel full in a very empowering way. I think this ritual of gratitude needs to be so much less what everybody else is doing and like the best way to practice gratitude, and practice gratitude where and how and when it feels good to you. Just make it part of your everyday freaking life, because like I alluded to, you cannot talk about gratitude without talking about abundance, right? And I think it's just another confusing and contentious part to come to, is like abundance is not necessarily always excess. I think people so often think of abundance and excess as the same, right? And in some ways, yes, I guess it can be, but like abundance is alignment at its root. Like abundance is having more, yes, but abundance is truly about being connected to what matters, right? Like abundance is space, support, community, creativity. Like the list goes on and on. It's love and presence and purpose and energy. It's all of these things that you recognize are so big in your world. And yes, it's all of the materialistic things too, right? Like abundance in the materialistic things as well. But like when you can shift your mindset, I think, to the idea that abundance is more of feelings and action, like that having this state, we could think about it this way. Being in a state of excess allows you to act in ways of abundance. Oh, I love that. Yeah. Being in a state of excess allows you to act in abundance. And I think that is what you need to walk away with today. Like that is the truth within your soul that I want you to walk away with. You can be grateful for everything you have, big and small, but you can also desire or already be at a point of excess where you can act with more abundance, right? Gratitude, desire, abundance. This beautiful little path. But you can honor what you have and still become who you were meant to be. Gratitude isn't the opposite of desire. It is what prepares you to receive more. And I think that is where we recognize, all of these different pillars of wealth, all of these different ideas about visibility, all of these different ideas about belonging, and being a woman without shame, being a woman without shame with her gratitude, her desires, and her abundance. I love that. I love that. If today's episode stirred something up inside of you, I would be honored for you to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, share this with a woman who you know would be grateful to have you share it with her and who would desire to hear more. Some other things that I would love for you to consider is to book a 30-minute vibe check with me. If you are ready to get clear on your story and you are ready to infuse everything that you do with that story, if you are ready to tell a story that actually feels like you, I would love to jump on a call with you. Or if you feel like you need some help pulling this story out of you, download the Tell Your Story Starter Kit. It is going to be the spark that helps you name your truth and write the story that you were always meant to tell. One other thing, follow me on Instagram at It's Ashley Crabb. I would love for you to send me a message. This week, send me a message. I know you've been talking about gratitude for the last week, and it's the holiday seasons. And so like gratitude is on the forefront of our minds a lot right now. But what are you grateful for? And what are you ready to desire next? Message me on Instagram, drop it in the comments here. But I want to hear that part of your story, because this podcast is truly where women rise. We are not just building brands or businesses or, side hustles, whatever it is that you are up to. We are building legacy. We are building belonging, and we're making history. I hope you enjoy. I'll catch you next week.
You've been listening to Making Herstory. Remember, your story isn't optional. It's your fire, your power, and the heartbeat of every space you build. So take up space, tell it raw, and keep building the kind of legacy that can't be ignored. It's Ashley Crabb, and I'll be back with more bold, brave, feral stories soon. And if you want to stay feral with me, hit subscribe, share this with your sisters, and let's make herstory louder together.